Can you lose weight without exercising? The answer is absolutely. We need a calorie deficit to lose weight, and so you don't have to exercise. However, it's worth considering the type of weight that we lose might not be the type of weight that we want to lose. Welcome to the show where we help you make smart nutrition simple. If you want proven nutrition strategies to help you build a better body and create the energy to show up for your family without overly restrictive and unrealistic dieting, then you're in the right place. Make sure to subscribe and enjoy this episode. What is going on, my friends? Welcome back to another episode of the Smart Nutrition Made Simple show. I'm your host, Ben Brown, owner and head coach here at Body Systems, where we help you change your belief system around what it means to be healthy through our nutrition, our strength training, our lifestyle coaching, and all of the accountability and support that you need to lose body weight, improve your energy, improve your physique, and create long-term sustainable change. Now, today I'm answering some of our clients' most commonly asked questions. And in this episode, I'm going to share the strategies that we teach our clients for ordering healthy meals, right? Because we're all going to eat out. And so how do we order healthy meals when we're eating out or we're grabbing fast food? I've got 3 young kids. It's going to happen here and there. And so we might as well equip you with the tools to be able to do that. So we're covering everything from navigating restaurant menus to making smarter choices at places like McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, or Subway. Not that I'm encouraging you to eat there, but hey, it's going to happen, not a big deal. So I'm also going to break down what you should eat before, during, and after your workout to fuel your body for peak performance and optimize your recovery. And then finally, I'm tackling the question, can you lose weight without exercising? And while the answer is technically yes, absolutely, there's a number of important trade-offs that you need to understand to make informed decisions about your health. So if you're ready for a no-nonsense, actionable advice to help you build a better body and create the energy to show up for your family without the overly restrictive dieting mindset, then you're in the right place. Do me a favor, hit subscribe, leave a positive rating and review, and hey, let's dive in. So the question is like, what are some healthy restaurant options if you're going to order out, if you're going to get a food delivery? And it's a good question because for a lot of our clients, I will literally walk through menus and kind of talk to our clients about how to rationalize ordering from a menu. And the steps that we typically take when we're having this conversation of how should I look at a menu, how should I think about ordering, are understanding at the end of the day, simplicity reigns supreme. Now, for most restaurants, it's not hard to get some variation of basically the same thing. Can I get some lean protein? Can I get some vegetables? Can I minimize the amount of additional calories from fats and carbohydrates? Think dressings, sauces, nuts, cheeses, dried fruit, right? Things like that. So typically when we look at the menu, we'll be, okay, where are the protein-based dishes? Can I order that protein in isolation? So for example, can I get a burger without the bun? Can I get a chicken breast? Can I get a steak? Can I get a piece of fish? Right? And can I take into consideration how that food is cooked? A steak is potentially going to be a better choice than a burger based on the amount of fat. Most burgers in restaurants are probably going to be around 70-30 protein to fat. So they're going to have a much higher fat intake than maybe a 90% burger, right, that we would cook at home or buy and cook at home. We got to take that into consideration. It's also why they taste so good, right? So maybe you're better off getting skirt steak or flank steak or sirloin, or maybe even a filet or a New York versus, right, a ribeye or a burger or something like that. So kind of looking at how can I get a chunk of protein? Can I get some vegetables? Can I go salad? But again, being cognizant of like the dressing that's on it and all of the additional ingredients. Can I get a side of steamed vegetables? Can I get sauteed vegetables? So just depending on the restaurant, what we'll typically do is just kind of look at ordering literally the same thing, just in different ways. So if I'm going to Thai, say, well, how can I get mixed vegetables with chicken, maybe in clear noodle soup? If I'm getting a carbohydrate, I'm going to be better off getting a baked potato than I am getting French fries, right? Because it's not going to be fried in the oils. I'm going to be better off getting maybe rice than I am getting perhaps some pasta dish. Just depends, right? I'm going to be better off getting white rice than I am going to be getting fried rice because of all of the additional butter, ingredients, and what have you. So kind of looking at making some of these swaps is the way that we think about things, and also being okay asking questions and asking specifically for what you want. There are very few restaurants that can't give you a grilled chicken breast, some sauteed or steamed vegetables, and maybe even, a potato as an example. But it requires you asking if they're willing to do that versus saying, I'll just order whatever I want off the menu. If you have goals in place, then it's worth acknowledging that you have the ability to make the decisions that are right for you. So the question is, how would you think about ordering out at fast food restaurants? And we do have a fast food restaurant guide that I will put in the show notes below that gives you a number of different options at places like Subway and Arby's and Wendy's. And while I personally tend to avoid those restaurants because it's challenging to get what you really want, they're going to be usually very high in carbs, very high in fat, harder to get the amount of protein that you want. There are definitely ways that you can do it. So what I would typically consider is, listen, if you're going to McDonald's or if you're going to Wendy's and you want to get a burger, or even In-N-Out burgers, like you can order a number of burgers without the bun. You can get them protein style at In-N-Out. At McDonald's or Wendy's, you can just get any number of burgers without the bun. Right? You don't have to, you could just eat the burgers. You don't have to eat French fries. You don't have to get one of those measly little salads thinking that it's good for you and having a paltry amount of, chicken on it. So, places like Chick-fil-A as an example, you can get grilled nuggets versus the deep fried ones would potentially be a better choice. Or even just understanding, listen, get whatever the hell you want as long as you're managing your calorie intake. If you want to have a double Whopper and fries and a Coke, great. Enjoy it, but also understand that that's going to be 1,000 calories towards your daily intake. And maybe the rest of the day looks like a protein shake and a chicken breast and broccoli for dinner, and you're at your calorie goals, and awesome. That's totally reasonable too. So you don't always have to make the substitutions. You can go out and enjoy pizza and beers and wings and burgers and eat the things that you want to eat. And I do frequently, and our clients do frequently. But they also now have the skills and understanding to know how it fits within the plan, to the degree that when they want to stick to their calorie limits and they want to be able to eat more food, that's when these substitutions come into play. Okay, I can go out with the family. I don't have to bring a Tupperware container. I can order a chicken breast. I can order a burger without the bun. I can get a side of veggies. I can get a potato. I can get the white rice. I don't have to get the, chicken Alfredo pasta that's going to be 5 times more calories than what I need. Hey guys, I want to interrupt this conversation briefly with an exciting announcement. If you're a father and struggling to lose the pounds that have crept on over the years, I understand your challenge. You're juggling a successful career, a loving family, and now You're looking to regain that energy and physique that seems to have slipped away. And that's exactly why I created PrimeFit Operating System. PrimeFit OS is a unique hybrid coaching program designed specifically for men like you. Now, you guys know me, we're not about quick fixes or impossible routines. Instead, we focus on real sustainable change through personalized nutrition and science-driven strength training, all wrapped up in a supportive community with expert guidance directly from me and my 20 years of experience working with men just like you. Imagine mastering your nutrition without restrictive dieting, getting stronger and leaner, and boosting your overall energy, all without overwhelming your already busy schedule. With PrimeFit OS, you're getting more than just a cookie-cutter nutrition and fitness plan. You're embarking on a transformative journey that fits into your life, not the other way around. So, if you're ready to take the first step towards a healthier, leaner, stronger, more energetic, confident, ass-kicking you, join us over at PrimeFit Operating System. Trust me, guys, your family, your career, and most importantly, you will thank you for it. So if you guys are interested in getting started and want to find out more about the program, let's chat. Just head over to primefitos.com/call and grab a time on my calendar. Remember, it's your time to be at your prime. The question is, what do we recommend that our clients eat before and after a workout? This is where it really just depends on the client. Let's just talk about peri-workout nutrition of like the before, during, and after training. Now, from a 30,000 foot view, I think it's very important to fuel ourselves around our training. And I think one of the worst things that someone can do, in my opinion, is not eat anything around their workout, not consume any calories, nor fuel themselves in any way after their workout. So for people that are intermittent fasting and train first thing in the morning, but don't eat anything until later in the day, I think they're doing themselves a massive disservice. And the reason for this is because our body thrives off of nutrient absorption, especially in the peri-workout window, especially when we've been exercising, because of how receptive the cells become to nutrition, to carbohydrates, to glucose, to essential amino acids, which we get from our proteins. And so as much as possible, I do encourage people to consume as much as they can around their workout window, depending on their schedule, the time of day, how many calories they have to work with, their experience. Invariably, we need to consume something that's easily digestible for us before a workout. Now, of course, that's going to depend a lot on the workout. If you're doing a general strength training workout, you're not jumping up and down, doing really high intensity training, you could probably consume just about anything. But usually we want to be consuming some protein. We want to be consuming some carbohydrates. So perhaps we're training in the morning. You could think about, okay, maybe I'm going to have a couple eggs. Maybe I'll have a little bit of oatmeal, maybe some fruit. That would be, maybe a little bit of steak with my eggs, or some deli meat or something like that mixed in with my eggs. And I've got the protein, I've got a little bit of fat, I've got carbs from oats and fruit, and that's going to fuel me throughout my workout and also be something that might be easy for me to digest. It could be, same conversation goes later in the day. Typically, we want to keep the fat a little bit lower pre-workout, just from a digestion standpoint. Again, my experience, having worked with athletes over the years, having worked with general population, it really just depends on the person. I can eat a big steak before I go train, and usually it's not an issue. But for other people, they can't eat within a couple hours. I definitely recommend eating within a couple hours of training. And usually not eating like within 30 minutes to an hour, right? So think anywhere from 2 to 4 hours before you go train, not eating within an hour or so seems like some general guidelines. Post training, I think, what matters most is that we're getting calories in. It doesn't have to be like right after you train in this theoretical anabolic window that's been talked about in years past, where if you don't take down a protein shake and carbs, like within 30 minutes, you're going to lose all your gains. However, I do think that it's an opportune time to take in a good amount of calories, specifically from easily digestible proteins and carbs. And so consuming something like a protein shake, perhaps some juice in the protein shake or some fruit or both, that is quickly digested and absorbed is a very logical way to approach your post-workout nutrition, followed by a real food meal a couple hours later. Or maybe it's not a shake and maybe it's just a real food meal, something like chicken and rice, an hour or so after training is a very logical way to approach it. Depending on how lean the person is, depending on how intense they're training and how much volume they're doing with their training, depending on how aggressive they want to be, oftentimes we'll also consider intra-workout nutrition. And that might be consuming essential amino acids in their workout drink, as well as some carbohydrates in the form of, it could be as simple as some Gatorade powder. It could be a more easily digestible carb, something called like branched cyclic dextrins, or dextrose, or just different forms of carbohydrate that essentially are all broken down and absorbed as sugars, but the digestibility varies in terms of how quickly it's digested and absorbed, how much water it pulls into the cells. And that depends on the type of athlete, the volume of training, the person's digestive system, and so on and so forth. And so I think that, if we're zooming out, again, it's important to get in as many calories as you can around that training window, because when we've been active, when we've been moving, when we've been strength training, again, the cells are very receptive to absorbing nutrients, specifically carbohydrates in the absence of insulin, which is awesome. And so we can get a huge bang for our buck. And if we think about replicating that over a long period of time, that's part of the reason why I believe that ultimately we get a bigger benefit by consuming more in that peri-workout window. Whereas the research would suggest, as long as we're managing our calories on a daily basis, getting enough protein daily, it doesn't necessarily matter as much when. But I'd argue against that just based on what I already suggested. The question is, can you lose weight without exercising? The answer is absolutely. We need a calorie deficit to lose weight. And so you don't have to exercise. You don't have to expend calories beyond what we normally expend just living, right? Breathing and moving around and doing our activities of daily living. As long as we're creating a caloric deficit from our food, we absolutely can lose weight. However, it's worth considering the type of weight that we lose might not be the type of weight that we want to lose. And so what we also know from weight loss studies and research is that if we're not exercising and we're in a calorie deficit, we're going to be a lot more likely to lose lean muscle tissue. And this is one of the things that we see with the GLP-1 agonist drugs, semaglutide, like the Ozempic for, those with, say, diabetes or metabolic disease, or the Wegovy, which is the weight loss product. They're both semaglutide, or even the GLP-1 GIP agonist drugs like tirzepatide, which is the brand name's Mounjaro. Is what we're seeing is people who are sedentary and have excess body fat are starting to take these drugs. They're losing a lot of weight, but they're also losing a lot of muscle mass. in the process. And this is very problematic from a metabolism standpoint. It's very problematic from a propensity of their body pushing back and them gaining the weight back when they go off the drugs. It's not teaching them how to eat in a realistic way for long-term change. And they're not setting themselves up for success long-term because they're losing more lean muscle tissue. So it's definitely going to impact their quality of life. It's definitely impacting their physique. And to the degree that while they're losing weight, they're still going to be the same shape as they were before, just not as much weight. So still potentially be skinny fat, not have any muscle tone, not likely looking at acquiring the physique that they want. So that's something that we've got to take into consideration when we're doing restrictive dieting practices. Is the way that we approach it and the way that we like to think about it is we'd much rather have you moving more and eating more as an opportunity to preserve lean muscle tissue, feel better, have more energy, think more clearly, be more likely for it to be sustainable long term than to do what a lot of people think they need to do, which is overly restrict. And then, of course, the last thing we want to do, regardless of the circumstances, is not exercise. Exercise is the best drug that we have for health, for longevity, for body composition change, for stress management, for cognitive function, for quality of life. The list goes on and on. Well, there you have it. That's it for this episode of the Smart Nutrition Made Simple show. If you have questions that you'd like us to tackle in an upcoming episode, then we can't wait to hear from you. So you can submit your questions directly by just messaging us on our social media. That's at Body Systems Coaching. Or you can just message me personally, ben@bodysystems.com. Appreciate you guys listening, and I will catch you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening. And if you found this content valuable, here are 4 ways I can help you in your nutrition journey for free. 1. Grab a free copy of my Fat Loss Fix Guide at fatlossfixguide.com. 2. Join my free group at smartnutritionmadesimple.com. 3. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at smartnutritionmadesimpletv.com. 4. Leave a 5-star rating and positive review so that we can gain access to more nutrition experts ready to share their knowledge with you and ultimately help more people make smart nutrition simple.